I did it. I beat Advance Wars multiple times. Hey, real quick, it's October, so I want to do a quick thank you and a shout out to our Patreon producers. Their names are scrolling along the bottom of the screen now. If you'd like to learn more about Patreon and the perks that come along with that, you can check out supportsteven.com. I meant to say all this during the actual vlog, but it's really late, and I forgot. All right, back to it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. It is late, and it is late because I had a little time before bed, and I was like, oh, I have one more mission, and I'm going to do this last mission, and then I'm going to do the vlog talking about Advance Wars. This will be great. That final mission took a long time, but I was already dedicated to the idea of, like, today's vlog will be about Advance Wars. But I beat it. I also beat it on the first try. Let me back up. Let's talk about Advance Wars a little bit. First off, my history with the game. I bought Advance Wars the day it came out. It came out at a very interesting time in history, but I got it the day it came out, and I loved it. I really, really enjoyed Advance Wars. I enjoyed playing through the campaign. I enjoyed playing through the war room. I enjoyed designing maps. I enjoyed playing versus with friends, usually Austin. Thinking back on it, I was always really into, like, design a level type thing. I remember the Time Splitters series also let you make some really intricate stuff in the levels, and I loved that too. But Advance Wars is a game that I really enjoyed, and I remember playing a lot of, and then I hadn't really touched it in a while. And I've been working through games on my phone, and I had just recently finished Golden Sun Part 1 and 2, 1 and Lost Age. And recently when Paul was here, he had been playing a little bit of the Advance Wars remake on the Switch. And I was like, you know what? It's been a while. I want to play through Advance Wars again. So I played through the entire campaign on my phone. And I chose to do it on my phone because I was like, well, I always have my phone with me, that'll be more convenient, and the remake is basically the same anyway, so I'm going to play through it on my phone. So I played through the entire campaign, and after I got through it, I was like, you know, that was fun. I wonder if I could S-rank the entire campaign. Because you get graded on every mission. You get a letter score. And I said, okay, I think I'd like to try that, because I enjoyed my time with Advance Wars, but I felt like I wasn't done. I was like, no, I would like a little more. I'd like another serving of Advance Wars. So I decided to then start the game over again on the Switch and go through the entire campaign and S-rank all of the missions. And I did. I got through the entire game, and once you get through the campaign, it unlocks all the other missions, because it's like a branching storyline. So once you get through it once, it unlocks all the other branches, so you can play those and get 100%. So I 100%ed every mission, or I S-ranked every mission 100% in the classic difficulty mode. So that was the second time I played through it. And then I was like, well, after you beat classic difficulty, it unlocks challenge mode. I've never played challenge mode. Even when I was a kid, I never played challenge mode, because this game came out when I guess I would have been 12 when it came out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give this thing a shot. And I started it, and I very quickly was like, this is challenging. Who would have thought? But I worked through it, and tonight I beat challenge mode. Now, when I say beat, I mean I completed it. I didn't 100% it, so I haven't done all the missions, and I certainly didn't S-rank them all, because wow, that's hard. When I was trying to get the S rank on Mission 24, the final battle, which is like the big final thing where it's like you and two other COs going up against the bad guy. When I was S-ranking that for Classic, I did it in 8 days, which was really fast. And that's the one I just had to play, and it took me 54. Took me 54 days. Now, in fairness, I could probably do that faster. I did beat it on my first try, but like it's really hard. Challenge mode was actually quite difficult. That being said, I had a lot of fun. Now, I'm definitely done with Advance Wars 1 for now, because I've played it essentially 3 times. And the only reason I would have ever gotten through it as quickly as I have was because I was sick last week. And technically I'm still sort of sick now. And while I was sick and I was just laying in bed, like, I played a lot of Advance Wars, and I was, working through everything. So I wanted to use this vlog as an opportunity to talk about the fact that I played Advance Wars again, which is great. I've done more in Advance Wars than I've ever done before, and kind of revisit it as a game from my childhood. And I really like it. You probably could tell based on the fact that I played through the entire game 3 times, but I really, really enjoy it. Coming from the Game Boy Advance version, going into the Switch version, I really like the Switch version. There's a lot of good quality of life changes. There are certainly some differing opinions online when it comes to the Switch remake. A lot of people don't seem to like the art style. I wasn't bothered by that. It's definitely different than the pixelated version from 23 years ago. But I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought it was cute. The only real issue I had from a graphics perspective, and keep in mind I've only played Advance Wars 1, so if there's problems with 2, I'm not there yet. The units in this game have been changed a little bit from they have to be changed, right? Because they're not pixels anymore. And there were multiple times where I got units confused, because the way it used to be is like the pixels were all the units were the same shape. They were the same, design. It's just the colors were changing. But in this, the colors are changing, but also like the design is different depending on the army. And unfortunately, some of the designs are just it's sometimes very difficult to tell the difference between a missile and a rocket, or a tank and a medium tank, or a cruiser and a battleship. And there was multiple times where I lost units because I had looked on the screen and I was like, that's a cruiser. And then the cruiser shot at me from a distance and I was like, you were a battleship. So that sort of thing is not ideal. But otherwise, I didn't really have any complaints with it. I really enjoyed it. Again, the quality of life stuff, for those that don't know, in the Game Boy Advance version, if you wanted to S rank everything, you had to do it when you beat the mission. Like, you couldn't retry a mission. If you needed to retry a mission, you had to play through the game again, because when you had moved on, you had moved on. And in this one, you could just freely choose, which is obviously so much better. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. There's a lot of extras in the remake. There's a gallery which gives you some achievement stuff to work towards, as well as you can buy music and art and stuff like that. You might have been able to buy the music in the Game Boy Advance version. I don't know. There's a bunch of extra maps and stuff too. All in all, really enjoyed it. I do have one complaint though. 2 complaints actually. And they haven't really affected me much playing through campaign alone, but I'm aware of them and they're really bad. So two complaints now I'm thinking about it. First thing, there is an online mode only with your friends. It's no matchmaking, which is just odd. That's just a weird decision. And then the other thing, which is honest to God infuriating, it is by and large the worst feature in the remake, and it makes me question what the hell was happening in Way Forward and why they would, because Way Forward, the folks behind the Shantae series, they're the ones that did the remake, and it makes me wonder what on earth they were doing. If you start a versus match to play with friends on your TV, you can't save it. You can't save it. You can't, like, save it and be like, cool, we'll come back to this. You can't do that. You can put your Switch to sleep, which is not the same thing. So if you wanted to, like, switch games or something, you're screwed. Or even if you wanted to, like, go play the campaign, you're screwed. Like, that's really bad. Like, really, really bad. I have no idea why that's the case. But we discovered this whenever Paul was here, and me, Paul, and Dan played a versus match. And then we got to the end of the night, and we're like, all right, we'll pick this up tomorrow. And I was like, well, why can't I find the save feature? And then I had to Google it and find out that there is no save feature, and people are really mad online. And I'm like, now I will join you in being mad, because that is insane. That was a feature of the Game Boy Advance version, because of course it was. And the fact that they took it out of a game that came 23 years later is, well, I guess it didn't come out this year. It came out a few years ago, but 20 years later is insane. It's insane. And they've never patched it in, because whenever you start the game, it shows the version number on the screen, and it's version 1.00, even after all these years. And like, man, that's a pretty necessary feature. So the remake is great. I really like the remake, playing it one player, but be aware, if you're thinking about the remake and you're looking forward to playing it with friends, you better do like small maps or long nights, because you can't save your versus game, which is crazy. Anyway, yeah, I should also probably use this as an opportunity to thank Nintendo. Nintendo is the one that sent the Advance Wars remake over. They sent it over when it came out years ago. Like, we did a stream of it, and I really want to get a physical copy of it. I just haven't done it yet, because I'm waiting for it to be on sale. Because like, I can play it now. I don't need to buy it to play it. So thanks, Nintendo. But I want to get a copy of it. I just have to wait till it's cheaper. But yeah, loved the game. Would probably buy it for single player mostly, since you can't save during versus. But otherwise, it's been really great. And as a reminder, I've only played through Advance Wars 1. I am looking forward to jumping into Advance Wars 2 soonish. And Advance Wars 2 is a game that I played on Game Boy Advance also, but again, I haven't played it since it came out, so it's been a long time. So at some point soon, I'll try that. Oh, the other thing is, I've played more Switch handheld this week than I've ever played in my entire life. I use this as a home console, so the fact that I was playing it handheld was weird, and man, it is not comfortable. It's like, with my hands, it is not a comfortable system to hold. The Joy-Cons are tiny, and it's flat, and it's not a comfortable system to play for a long time. That's okay. They're making a Switch too. Maybe the Joy-Cons will be more comfortable. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I need to go to bed so badly. Talk about Advance Wars. If you've ever played it, if you played the remake, what you thought of the remake, because I know some people have some really strong opinions about it. And maybe there's some stuff in Advance Wars 2 on the remake that, you know, is not ideal, but I haven't experienced that yet. Because I've heard some people complain about slowdown, and I never experienced any slowdown in Advance Wars 1, but also the maps are not as big as they are in 2, so maybe that's part of it. Yeah. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? It's so late. It's so late.